Hey everybody. Tonight's kind of going to be a little different. It's my first Christmas holiday makeover. And I chose fantasy. Now the thing about doing fantasy, or actually any form of art, you have an idea in your mind. But you have to let it evolve and become organic. So you have to work with it. And so in short, I guess what I'm saying is, I have some ideas, but hey, I'll sign an affidavit. We've not practiced this is on the fly, and that's kind of scary, because I just have to be myself, and just let you guys see how things develop, as opposed to if we've rehearsed it, got it down, show you. So this one's just like completely off the seat of my pants, and so I thought about who can I get to do this with me. There's only one person that came to mind. She's my muse. I've done more work with her than anyone in the last 15 years. She's a prima ballerina, teacher, choreographer, competitor, judge. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Kristie Wyler. Hey, Kristie.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, love.
Pretty hair. I know. Well, you're outshining me again. It's okay.
I try.
You can call me my outfit anytime you want. Honey, sweetie. This is how we are in public, by the way. We really are. It's like, gotta have each other's backs.
Well, yes.
I mean, we're carrying this.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Keeping it real. No, I've been designing for you for like 15 years. But
So long.
Yeah, and we went so many different fashions, but
We've tried it all.
it keeps evolving.
Mm-hmm.
But when did you start studying dance?
I started when I was maybe preschool, kindergarten, about 5 years old. I did it for a few years. I took a break. I came back in 4th grade and I got serious and I stuck with it until I was in college.
Do you think that dedication that it took growing up is what made you the dancer that you are, I should say?
Mm-hmm.
Or should most ballerinas start at that age?
Yeah, most do start early, but you can start later. Misty Copeland is a very famous ballerina. She started later in life and she's perfect now. But yeah, if you love it in the beginning, it's just fun, and then you get better, and it gets more serious, and you get more dedicated, and just kind of keeps evolving.
Yeah, because my dancer friends in New York,
Mm-hmm.
They're up at 4 in the morning, and they'll be in the dance studio, then go to school, come back afterwards, and be back and dance.
Yeah,
now,
if you're a professional, it's all day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's constant. But one thing I've been noticing in ballet, or maybe not just ballet, is layman's terms here, it's evolved to kind of this new like jazz, because I know you do jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did it all.
but there's an infusion of dance now. When I went to your last production that you choreographed, it was like an infusion of
sure.
You're choreographing and teaching. Is this a new concept?
Sure. Well, there was technical ballet, basic ballet, jazz, tap, and then the modern, then dance art fusion. You have lyrical, which is kind of a mix of modern and jazz and ballet, and you have contemporary now, which is kind of a mix again, and there's contemporary jazz now, and hip hop is coming into jazz, and it's just all like any art form evolving, growing.
Now, I would think, speaking from my point of view as an artist, it's kind of the same thing is happening too in hair, makeup, and just kind of anything's going and see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
So I think as a dedicated artist like yourself and a choreographer, this would be like a dream come true time.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, anytime you kind of play with your art form and see what you can come up with and it's accepted and people love it, it's so exciting.
Well, I guess what I was trying to say though is you studied each one, like you always see the dancer on fame, the choreographer hitting the stick on the floor and everything. You studied each one of these categories, has its own art.
Yes.
It has its own medium.
Yes, and its own technique to go with each one.
And so now you're getting to it as a choreographer, just that's kind of your mash.
Yeah, but still with the technique of each of the different disciplines, of course. Ballet is always the base. Ballet is always ballet. It's always new ballet.
Yeah, you heard it, guys. That was a choreographer in her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like when we do your makeovers.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, no. Or yes, I like this one, no, Dina, this one.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that where I've enjoyed design for you over the years because at your retirement party,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just kind of like all of a sudden weren't even judging anymore. You stopped judging, and you were like a really big deal in the judging world. And you just kind of just like, oh, I'm retiring one day,
Yeah.
and it was like news on Facebook. You were just like stepping down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, you know, of course I came to your retirement party. I mean, I was at your wedding.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, yeah.
Don't go anywhere hard.
No, I mean, it's glamour.
No. Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
we're always together. Your book you put together was like my hair portfolio or makeup portfolio.
Yeah, I put 13 years of my dance life in order, and I said, how can I tell where each item goes? Oh, my blonde hair goes together, my short hair goes together, my red hair goes together. And then I was able to put it in order, so thanks to you.
I remember when we cut your hair off into
The first time I met you, I let you cut all my hair off.
oh, and so yeah, and your wedding, my God.
How many trials for the wedding?
How many Sunday we actually every Sunday you would come over, you and Todd, we'd come to the studio, and we would do her hair and makeup. I mean, literally, guys, she went through 3 wedding dresses. There were so many photos at your wedding of me working with you. You guys surprised me with a book
Mm-hmm.
of just me and
Yeah, our
your
time
family.
together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you can understand why I wanted you here.
Mm-hmm.
I need your help.
Yes.
Just because I know that you can morph, and this is very important to the professionals out there. When you are playing in an unknown field of fantasy or something, make sure your model and the person you're working with you have a synergy with, and that person has a chameleon in them. In other words, like Kristie she's played and danced so many different characters that fashion is nothing for her to morph into. She becomes that, and that's so important because, well, my work is only as good as the way you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
It has to kind of breathe. It have some kind of life of its own, and or else it can just be stagnant.
Sure.
And just be like, you know,
And we have a good trust and a good working relationship from years.
Yeah, there's so
together.
many times I've asked you. That's one thing I really have enjoyed. So many times I'd ask you. I go, do you like it? And you'll be like, do you?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I think I did. It's like, okay.
And you say, what do you want today? And I say, I don't know. What do I want
Yeah,
today?
it's like oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kristie, I'm slacking. I didn't design for you last night.
Yeah.
Oops. But
I've also had texts, stayed up all night trying to think of something for you.
Yeah. Oh yes. And so now we're going into a whole new area, Kristie.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
excited.
dear God. I mean, you might look like a wrapped package when I'm done, but
We'll see.
we'll see. So let's get you on the makeup side.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're in the makeup. As you can see, we've already taken Kristie and I put her into just a kind of a classic French twist in the back. It'll all make sense later when we get to the fantasy hair, which is what I really want to focus on. And we went ahead and did her just standard makeup for the interview. And the thing about it is ladies, you don't have to like strip the face down. You can build off of it. Because you're going to wear that, you need your foundations, you need your underneath contour and all that. So why strip all that away just to put it back on? And we can go into fantasy real easy because Kristie already wears a softer, more but yet dramatic look. So what we're going to do is we're going to start building up her eyes and her cheeks, and then we're going to do the hair fantasy, and then end it with a Christmas kiss.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's start with what I see my holiday fantasy come to life. And it's going to morph with us and we'll see where it leads us. But obviously a lot of gold and silver reflection is what I've got. I just can't get out of my mind. And then I'm seeing reds. So what I'm going to do is just speed through a lot of this and then we'll put some lashes on her, and then we're going to get to the hair. So here we go. So easy her with underneath the way we do her eyes, so soft how she can go into the silver so easily. And her darker tone that was underneath just gives depth. And I'm taking my reflection, I'm really taking it out there. And we're going to go frosting under the eyes, into the tops of the cheeks. I just love doing your makeup. It always just seems to work.
Why don't we do this every day?
So I'm just using my point brush, and I'm just really filling her in and using some of the gold just to fill in and give her some depth. And then taking that and wrapping it around that eye, just really bringing it, make it pop. Make those eyes go, just sparkle. It's winter, it's fantasy, it's the holidays. So your scholarship.
Yes.
We didn't get to, I got so sidetracked in the interview that I didn't even get to let you talk about the whole reason you're really here and what you want to stand behind. So talk to me about it.
Yes, so my Kristie Wyler Dance Education Fund is a scholarship for local dancers to help them pursue professional education. Education. So these are classes outside of their home studio, conventions with master teachers, or my ideal situation is that a dancer uses it to travel to New York or to LA to take classes in Manhattan or in Los Angeles and really kind of feel the experience of what it's like to be a professional dancer in the working world. I've always been into fundraisers. I've always done things for Gilda's Club and Make-A-Wish, and then I wanted to start my own fund so that I could, like I said, help the dancers who I've been working with for so long and the dancers in our local area. And I knew coming into my retirement that it's kind of a gift giving time, and I was thinking of a way I could maybe do good with the gifts that were potentially coming to celebrate my time at the studio. And I thought maybe instead of asking for gifts, I just ask for donations to a fund that I will then have scholarship applications available, and dancers can ask for the money.
Do you have a lot of people applying?
Yes, well, the first round of scholarships I promised to my dancers from the studio that I retired from, so they are the only ones available to apply for the first round, and then I'll open it to everyone. It's for travel, master classes, things like that. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going into her eyes. That was not the most easiest segue.
Yeah.
Just segued right out of that.
Anyway,
now back to me. So back to your makeup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. But no, seriously, go to the Kristie Wyler
Dance Education Fund. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and donate. It's
$5 helps.
Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm going to really bring her eyes up with felt tip liner and going into wings. And then I'm going to a 0 and then going straight up. What you want to do is you want to pretty much make that wing go to where the eyebrow it feathers down. Now, being we'll be putting false eyelashes on her, they have a new black adhesive, and that will just intensify your black liner for your fantasy, so it's okay. Just go with it. And then I'm just filling in with my felt tip liner the insides. Now I'm making just a very, very light line underneath. This is not about underneath liner. It's all about the tops. I'm going with strong gold, and I'm going up underneath that liner we put in. Notice how well the silvers and golds are blending together. Okay. So now back to putting false eyelashes on. Okay, what I picked out, Kristie's worn all sizes, especially in ballet. They were very hyperextended, and you're playing to the back wall. Mm-hmm. We're doing this more for video, so I've got you in your Kiss Twilights. Now, if you notice, I didn't put any mascara on her before I lay these, because what I do is I like to make take my mascara and connect it from the bottom, her natural lash, to this, and make it just one. Where if you already have your mascara on the on your lash, it has a hard time connecting. So what you want to do is you're just going to go in there, hold it from the center. This is so important, people, your placement. And you're going to lay it right on there. Just right below all the lines. Starting from the center and then building out. You notice how the black glue, which I really strongly recommend, the new black adhesive. Whoever came up with using white adhesive on black eyelashes, beats me. Because this will just intensify your eyeliner. So now what I can do, when that's drying, is I can actually take my adhesive and go over her liner and give her extra hole protection for her eyelash. So you don't ever, I'm sure you've all been there where you feel like it's lifting in the eye or on the outer eye. It just kind of helps it. Look up. So that black liner just fits right, I mean that black adhesive just fits right in there. And then you just keep going over that with your gold point, because you don't want to get too much build up in there. See the nice reflections that we're already getting. So what I'm doing now for fun is I'm taking shimmer powders and I'm just going to blow them on her face. What that's going to do is that just goes ahead and gives her that glow everywhere. So what I'm, my normal thing people is using an angle brush. Not with Kristie because she keeps her brows so perfectly formed and she likes them lighter. I don't have to do much work, I'm just having to go over it. But what I do like to do is bring it down a little further and fade out. And then take my brush and brush in. Can you imagine if we would have grown in the same neighborhoods?
Oh.
Our Barbies. Oh.
Watch out.
Look
Watch
out. I mean, you call that Barbie's summer home?
Mm-hmm.
That's a guest house.
You're right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Barbie's getting like, an upgrade. And we're also going to let her know about Ken.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her to waste her time. Ken, come on.
Yeah.
Love the bleach hair, Ken.
Yeah. He's interested in other things.
Yes, he's just, he's fashion.
He is
He's
fashion.
very into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're into mascara. And look how beautiful she looks, people. And we haven't even gotten into the fancy hair and even put mascara on. So what I do is I'm using the new Japanese mascara. I always put my finger in so she knows where to watch. And I can get in there. And see how I'm taking her lash and painting it into the fake lash. Okay, so now we're going to go into doing her fantasy makeup. So we're just going to do a quick turnaround. Okay, what I did was I actually went and got, as you can see, I preset her just into your classic French twist with just some little beachy waves here and there. And so what I did was I actually went in, because you're going to the Derby.
Yes.
And so all of a sudden I caught myself going kind of Christmas.
Christmas fascinator.
It's just like a hat for, it's almost a hat for Christmas Derby.
Yes.
So as we turn around, the reason that's why I put her into a French twist, I've got a stick. And so that stick now we're going to just, we don't need that long, so we're just going to break it off. And we are going to preform our ribbon. And that stick is going right down the center. Get your direction you want. The stick is just down the center of her head. Now, our second one with the second stick needs to be much shorter, but we want some of this to stick out. So we're going to break that. We're going to take this stuff here and leave it hanging out. It'll all make sense in a minute. Going back down that center, working that stick in there. Now I'm taking this piece that we left out and wrapping them both together. Okay, now we got a third one. And so I don't have any stick on it. It's just going to go in there and it's going to wrap around all three. Tying all three together, creating an asymmetrical look. What you can do then is you can take some of your berries. See how it has, it's like a little wire. And you're going to stick that where you've wrapped all that around. And so now you don't see the wrapping. Okay? And then just to give her a little more fun, we're gonna stick a few of these in there, just give it a feeling, a texture, kind of a Japanese kind of feel, but still keeping very holiday. Now, how do I get that to stay into the hair without pin? All you have to do is take a stapler, sorry, Kristie's
Please not a staple gun.
Yeah, and get that material in there, grab some hair, and staple, and fold over. And now on the in-between, we're taking a bobby pin, and we're gonna go into that wire and just give it an extra amount up here on top. And so now we just go in here and give her a little lift, because we don't want stiffness. We want to be free. We want to be soft like her. So now I look at her and see, okay, I love everything. Now I need to do one more thing, and this is very important, ladies. Please keep this one in mind for your finish. When you're doing high reflection, high intense makeup like this, you must go into the neck and go on both sides of the Adam's apple, throat, whatever you want to call it. What do you like to call it?
It's your neck.
Your neck. And then with your darker color, kind of just go in there around her muscles of her neck and accent it off. That's leading you upward. And then go back into your brighter over it. And now there's just one thing missing, the cherry on top. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some liquid ointment on her lip. Japanese grad. And this is like cherry ball. This is like,
Looks gorgeous.
you know, it's wonderful. It's nice flat, and it's just like intense. And we're creating that ombre lip that we've been talking about in so many of our episodes. And then we just start clean up on the lip. You guys see me do this every week. I think even if you don't need to do a clean up, it's important, but I think go around the lipstick. Just to like give it that clean line. Okay, so now just to give it a little more kick, I'm gonna go in there with some red Kicker gloss and hit that center. But ladies and gentlemen, Christmas fantasy. My first, see how I let it flow and let it be. You can create this beautiful look. Okay, so now to finish off your look, especially when you're doing really high intensity, high impact looks, because they're gonna wanna fade down and you want all that reflection to stay. So what I'm using is a makeup setting spray. How you work with finishing mist is you have them close their eyes. You want to stay at least 6 to 10 inches. I like to be more like, kind of feeling like I'm at an angle. So I'm more like about a foot away. And you just want to back and forth. See how my arm moves? Offward. And then you just kind of fan it. Now you really want to check for anything when it's setting that you might want to change. And then you're going to outward and over, outward and over, outward and over, feathering it off. Happy holidays, people. My first makeup fantasy of the year. Oh, thank
Yay,
you.
Thanks.
Now go do your photo shoot.
All right.